I want to welcome our special guest today, Razell, also my NASDAQ Circle sister, who's also working on her milestones. And I want to welcome her. She's going to share what her journey has been like in entrepreneurship, share some professional nuggets of wisdom with us. So I want to thank you for being our guest today.
Mhm.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Of course, my name is Razell Johnson, and I have been a registered nurse for about 18 years. For the last 10 years, I have been an entrepreneur with different things. I would say fashion is probably the one that has stuck with me. So I eventually started reselling clothes online. Like I've been doing eBay for like the last 10 years, and then the last 2 years, started my own boutique. And now that has transitioned into image consulting. And I do signature styling for professional women.
So, guys, we're going to get right back to this talk. But first, I want to talk to you about the fact that I have had in depth conversations with over 100 successful entrepreneurs within the last 8 months. And the one common factor between all of these entrepreneurs is that they could use more funding and more revenue and creative solutions to bring more cash flow into their business. Well, I decided to host a masterclass Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can meet up with me where I am teaching entrepreneurs, professionals, and those who want to transition out of their 9 to 5 or whatever type of mundane and boring work that you do in order to do something more fulfilling. I want you to learn how to start, scale, and revive your business fully funded, debt free. I have pulled together over $100 million in resources, and I'm going to share my findings with you. There are grants, there are sponsorships, there are partnerships, collaborations. I'm glad you all are enjoying this talk with this amazing entrepreneur and getting a lot of gems. We'll get right back to the talk. However, I want to share something amazing with you that I'm doing, and you are cordially invited. On Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, I am hosting master classes where you get a guide as well. And we are learning how to fund your venture totally debt free up to $1 million in funding in 12 weeks or less. We are going to take an in depth look into where the funding is, what corporations or organizations are giving it away, which industries are making that money. And we're going to specifically work together to fund our ventures. One of my elite business solutions clients challenged me to find her over $1 million in 90 days. And I'm bringing you all along in the process with me because I want to see more than just one person access this money. With all of the success that I have experienced and all of the knowledge that I have gained from these talks with over 100 successful entrepreneurs within the last 8 months, I want to share that information with you. But you have to get in the masterclass and see what the masterclass is all about. You can click the link in the description. You deserve to be able to fully fund your venture and transition out of that boring, mundane job that you don't want to do. You shouldn't have to burn through your cash. You shouldn't have to go into more debt, and you don't have to pull out that second mortgage on your house or sell off the things that you love. There are so many different resources, and I can't wait to share the information with you. So I'll see you in the masterclass. And remember, click the link. And now we're going to return to our talk. Thanks for watching Self Care Your Way to Success podcast. All right, let's get back to the talk.
Part of the reason why I'm in NASDAQ was to try to just transform my business to provide more personalized service and more one-on-one connection with my clients. That's
Absolutely.
been my journey, and what kind of led me to NASDAQ was because one of the things I realized over the years of being in business was that I do need structure, especially if you're a working entrepreneur, like we like to say. Like if you working while you're growing your business, is I needed structure and support, and you will need a lot of like mentorship. So that's the main thing I would say is when you're on your journey is to just find you a network to get plugged into with for support because it can be lonely and overwhelming.
Absolutely. I love having you all as a networking community. Like you said, you have to find that support and because it gets lonely, and also practicing discipline because you have to say no to the social things sometimes. You have to make those sacrifices. And
Yes.
how has the experience been managing all of that, like transitioning from your, you've had longevity in your career, transitioning
Mhm.
from that and investing more of your time into building your business. How has that experience been?
I will say now in my career, I have been fortunate probably like the last 2 years to be able to choose which roles I want to take. And now I take roles that don't require a lot of like physical work. Like what I do now is mental. I'm a program manager for healthcare program manager. So a lot of what I do now and it allows me more freedom in my schedule. So that would be the one thing I would say professionally has changed is that I've begun to seek out roles that wouldn't too much interfere with my dream is to be an entrepreneur and fully work for myself. So just choosing roles that wouldn't require me to deviate too much from that or like take too much energy from me that I can't work on my business.
Yeah, that's smart. That's really smart to structure everything centered around the main focus that you're having. And that way you can create that balance because you can
Yes,
sustain your lifestyle and then still have that space and that room to grow in your entrepreneur venture. So,
exactly.
yeah, that's great advice. Yeah, that's great advice.
So I
Um,
mean, it's easy sometimes when you're, like you have a career or like you have that longevity, it's easy to like just go up the corporate ladder, I guess you could say, but that's not my dream. So, and then like, you just got to be mindful that that's not my dream. I don't, like you can offer me all these different roles, but at the end of the day, that's not my dream.
yeah.
So you got to stay true to yourself.
Absolutely. I love that you're showing up authentically and what you feel passionate about and what you feel is calling you. When did you first, because I love your look and like you're very well coordinated, your hair
Thank you.
color is great on you. And what was, because I mentioned that because you have a great sense of personal style.
Thank you.
When did you realize you had a passion for helping other women figure out how to be well put together and polished and have that really unique and professional image and consult them on that?
So I was doing it all along and I didn't know that I was doing it,
Oh,
but
wow.
I've always like helped people get their outfits together for events or
Mhm.
people would call me and say, "Hey, Razell, can you going on vacation? Could you tell me how this looks?" So
Wow.
I think it just stemmed from like a response to people asking me, like, I'm going on vacation, or I'm having a birthday, like, or they would just send me pictures like, what do you think about this? When I had my boutique and when I would get inventory in, like a few of my friends before they would like go to the mall or shop online, they would say, Razell, I'm gonna stop over there and see what you have. So transition to that. Like I never even like envisioned that for my business. Like I just always love clothes with dresses specifically, like very feminine styles. But the personal image consulting part, I was already doing it and just not thinking of it as a business.
Yeah, it came to you so naturally. And I
Yes.
can see how the people around you already saw that gift in you before you were realizing like you were really serving the community around you with
Hmm.
that consulting gift. And people were coming to you and trusting you and
Yes.
seeking out your advice. And I love how you turned it in entrepreneurship for yourself and taking something that just has come to you so naturally and brought you joy and you're
Hmm.
turning it into a business. I think that's the best way to connect your passion to your community and serve them through that.
And I actually didn't even, like you mentioned, like I didn't, it was so organically, like I
Yeah.
didn't realize that like I was serving people by doing that. And I think
Mhm.
sometimes part of like being an entrepreneur, you have to do something you love because you'll get burned out or it's a long journey and it's a
Yeah.
difficult journey. So you have to do something like that you're gifted at.
Yeah, like almost like taking the workspaces. Of course, there are going to be those tasks in building our business that aren't as glamorous. They're the
Hmm.
boring tasks. Of course, we can outsource, we can delegate, we can hire people, we can get help, we can use tech. But then there's the meat of it, the feeling part of it. It's like you said, it doesn't have to feel like work. You can really enjoy it, and then you can be in a state of flow and a state of play.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what keeps us in that positive mindset about showing up and staying consistent because we genuinely enjoy doing
You
that.
enjoy doing it.
What are some future projects or things that we might be able to look forward to as we connect with you?
One of my milestones now is getting my packages more structured in the different tiers of packages, like some as simple as doing like a virtual style consultation, like reviewing what's in somebody's closet on being sustainable and not wasting things, helping women see what you have in your closet and what you need to add to it. Like you don't need to throw away everything, just
Yeah.
working with what you have. So that's one of my first tiers, or like my first introduction to someone who's like, I don't quite know what I need yet, and I don't want to get rid of all my stuff, so you don't necessarily have to. And then my second thing, what I would like my end goal to be is like a VIP day where I take a woman or like a few women out. We go shopping. You get like positive feedback, do some photographs, and just I would say like just being celebrated and having I don't know how they used to have this show where you would like show your look to your closest friends and families and get their oohs and ahs before you know you stepped all the way out in the world with it. So something similar to that, like having a small group of women and we all go out together, pick out your new looks and get feedback so that they can feel confident with when they present themselves.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea, making it interactive,
Hmm.
and that you have a virtual option where you can help women take inventory. They don't feel like they've wasted so much money,
Yeah.
but it does feel good to get those new pieces. That feels
Hmm.
good to go shopping, I have to admit.
Yeah,
And
it
so,
does.
yeah, you get those few things you can sprinkle in, and then you're helping them also build their personal style because you're framing it around, well, this is something you picked out. Let's see how we can
We can
make this
work with
good for you and bring it
exactly.
more life. Yeah, give it a new life.
Because
I
I
love
always
that.
feel like you never want to, I don't know, like I'm big on if you like it and how do you feel when you wear it? So if you think it
Yeah.
look cute, like let's just, switch it up a little bit, maybe add an accessory, a belt, something, whatever we need to do. But if you like it, you don't want anybody coming in and completely changing who you are if it's something that you like and something you want to keep. Just like let's work with it.
Yeah. What has been like an aha moment for you when you work with one of your clients or as you venture into doing more image consulting and helping people navigate their personal style? What's been one of those moments that has been rewarding for you where you've seen that light bulb come on for someone and you could tell their confidence got boosted?
I would say the biggest piece is when they feel comfortable, like as they are, like I don't need to wait till I lose weight. I don't need to wait until, like I get something nipped and tucked. But,
Yeah.
like seeing like, okay, I can look how I want to look and I can present myself, polished or creative, whatever your style is as I am right now. Like you can do it as you are in whatever size, whatever you're going through in your life. Like you don't have to wait to do it. So that's my biggest thing is like seeing somebody's reaction because like maybe you have an image in your head that you need to be this size or you need to look like
Yeah.
this before you feel good about yourself. No, let's just make you feel good about yourself right now as you are. So that's the biggest piece I love.
What are some tips or pieces of advice that you would give to women, to especially women who are juggling many things and like how you're working in your career, but you're also developing your business and growing as an entrepreneur and also coaching and consulting other women and managing a lot of different moving parts of life? What are some advice or golden nuggets of wisdom that you would give to women like myself and others who do some of those similar things and juggle many hats, just to help us maintain that confidence and not feel like we have to shapeshift or keep up with the beauty standard and trends and those sort of things just to look good and feel good?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I would say the main thing is setting boundaries. Like I'm
Yeah.
big on setting boundaries. I feel like as women, especially when you're already juggling all those things, you have to set boundaries in order to get to the next thing that I would say, and that is like self-care. Like you have to set boundaries to have time for self-care and like and not feel guilty about it. So that would be my first thing is just learning, like you said earlier, learning to say no to some things, not having guilt associated with it. Because when you say no to something, or just as simple as adding something else on your plate, or just somebody you've always done it and they expected you to keep doing it. Now I don't want to do it anymore. But that just when you say yes to those things, you're saying no to like maybe if I need a nap today, I can get a nap. Maybe if I want to take care of my skin, and do a 15-minute skincare routine, we should be able to do those things. But if you're juggling multiple things and you have a lot of obligations, setting boundaries is I feel like it's going to get you in a space where you have time to even practice self-care or wellness, like go and take a walk, go and do yoga, whatever it is that you need to do for yourself. So that's the biggest thing for me. And I just recently learned that.
Yeah. And then too, as we navigate through life and we change and we pivot and we fill different roles and we develop different gifts, I think it comes from our values change too as we change.
Yes,
So
that's true.
yeah, so I think it's recognizing when we need to strengthen them and then some when we need to pivot. But setting boundaries is that's some excellent advice because it's something that I have to constantly remind myself about.
Exactly. I was like, it all starts from there because we can't say yes to everything and be everything to everybody because you're gonna get left out.
You will, and the intention is good. You want to be
Mhm.
helpful, you want to fill spaces, but when you're in this place where you're growing you and you're venturing into your passions and you're pivoting into new roles, you really do have to have this sense of self-centeredness, kind of, and not like in a negative way, just in
Mhm.
a what are we prioritizing? What are we really working towards, and what are we putting our energy towards?
Yes, because in the beginning it may feel like selfishness. I mean, like sometimes selfishness has like a negative connotation on it, but selfishness sometimes you just got to be selfish sometimes because you deserve to be rested. You deserve to like pursue what you want to pursue. You deserve to take care of yourself. I mean, deciding if you want to go and sit in the park and not do nothing, you deserve it if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. What have been some of your favorite go-to self-care routines? Like maybe if you have something special that you really love to indulge in the morning, at the start of your day, or maybe to relax after a long day. What are some, if we could take a look inside, your routine, what would that be like?
I would say my favorite thing lately is taking naps. Like, I mean, I don't know how I was missing out on naps all these years. So just
Uh,
probably last year, I just learned how to rest without feeling guilty. That is
yes.
very new for me. And to not always feel like if I'm sitting down, like I got 13 other things I could be doing. No, at this moment, I'm just sitting down, So that's new for me. And I do feel like it has been the most significant change for me because it does improve your mental health and you can't even if you don't take a nap you can't keep running on films and then like I'm up but I'm not being productive or I'm not being able to be creative and stuff like that. So that's one thing I do now is take naps, and before you just be walking. I love to be outside taking a walk and drinking water. So,
Yeah.
those are probably
Yeah.
like very simple things, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's what's my thing.
Yeah, getting outside and getting connected to nature has really gave me a whole just energetic shift. I try
Hmm.
to, because I'm an early riser, but I go to bed early too. That's one of my boundaries that I had to learn how to set in place. That when that phone is on D&D, it's on D&D. I think
Hey,
I
don't
have
touch it.
one person that can maybe get through, and
Can't get through.
that's maybe because if they call me 3 times, it's really an emergency. But and I have to learn how
That's
to
good.
hold my
Mhm.
boundaries. Yeah, but and I've been getting better rest. I need to figure out how to squeeze nap ins more often because that. I mean, an hour or two can make
Yes,
you feel like you got full nights of rest, and then you can pull the last leg of your day
exactly.
and get a lot done. And I had to realize that with some advice from another one of my circle sisters that I interviewed, Elizabeth McCoy. I don't know if you're familiar
I
with her.
think I've seen her program. She promotes rest.
Yes, she
Mhm.
does. Yes, she was such a huge advocate. She was like, Ken, let me tell you. She was like,
Take a nap.
if something's interrupting my nap, it has to go. I was like, you are serious business about rest. And so since talking with her and then it's come up more times, I'm like, okay, I gotta figure out where I can squeeze a 30 minutes
Squeeze a
or
nap in. And
yeah,
I
a little
mean,
something. Yeah.
even if
So,
it's just some quiet, like just put the phone down and just some quiet time. Sometimes I don't always go to sleep. I'll listen to like some meditative music, but it means my eyes, they're gonna be closed. And I'm not
yeah,
scrolling
usually
through no phone or anything.
yeah, you want to just shut your brain off and just
Yes,
quiet your mind and give it a rest and
yes.
recharge. Yeah, I love that. How can the audience and myself, I do believe I connected with you on LinkedIn, but how can the audience stay connected with you and follow what you're doing? And as you grow and share more with us, like how can we support you online and on social media and those sort of things?
Okay, online, well, on LinkedIn, I'm Razell Johnson. Same with my Facebook. I'm probably very active on Facebook, especially if you send me a message. It's Razell Johnson. And on TikTok, it is, I want to say Mrs. Johnson 504, and my Instagram is Mrs. Johnson 54.
Definitely, we'll definitely stay connected with you. And I encourage women who are on their journey to tap into building their confidence through image consulting and aligning their personal style with their business and their brand. I think that's a wonderful service to offer the collective.
Thank
And
you.
I love what you're doing. Yes. And
Thank
I
you.
really understand the full importance of it. What is something that you would leave us with? Like if you wanted to just share something and say, if these would be my parting words, I'll leave the audience, I'll leave you with this, Ken, and take it with you, put it in your pocket and pull it out and use it when you need, stay encouraged,
Look, God got so much. I would
Yeah.
say probably in this phase of my life, I have realized being patient and giving yourself grace is a big thing. I've gone through situations to where I feel like I should be further ahead. And then sometimes you got to just practice gratitude and be thankful, that you are here. You get another day to start over and just loving, I would say, being more loving and kind to yourself because you probably have survived and been through a lot of stuff. You're hard, like you're hard on yourself unnecessarily. So I would say to leave the group with something is never be afraid to start over, never be afraid of any part of your story, any part of yourself, your body, your face, whatever it is, like that is you, like you are you, and there's nobody like you. So just part of my service that I want to offer, like the part of my service is like I just love celebrating people for who they are. Like you don't need to change nothing about you.
Yeah.
You're good how you are. It may be always room for improvement, but there's nothing wrong with you, as you are. Like you deserve to be celebrated, you deserve to be loved on, you deserve like everything good that you want, like as you are in the now. So that's the biggest thing.
I just want to thank you again for having this chat with me, this talk.
And thank you for having me